We always say that we taught each other how to play our instruments because we really did. None of us knew how to do anything musical before we got together, pretty much, and it just seemed like a fun thing to do instead of playing video games or something like that. Which nothing against that, but that's what we did, and
weren't really into sports, and I think a lot of the motivation was it was fun to hang out together. We've always had. I think we're all in the band together because we're friends, and it's not because we're the best. It's not because I'm the best guitar player that they could find. There's a lot of others. But I think we're all in it together because we loved hanging out, and practice was a way for us to hang out.
And I think that's really cool, and that benefits us in a lot of ways, that we grew up together and we know each other so well, and there's no hidden motives or anything behind anyone. We all know why we're doing this, and because it's the only thing we can do.
But now you're in Paris.
We kind of all met, most of us met in a town called Columbia, Tennessee. Probably never heard of it because it's really small, and they're most known for being Muletown, USA. We are not proud of that at all. We decided that, well, we didn't decide, but we were really interested in a lot of other things. There weren't a lot of people in our town that were listening to bands from Europe or, stuff that's not country or whatever. But we were really close to Nashville. Like, we had kind of grown up in Nashville all our lives too. So it was kind of that juxtaposition of that small town and then big Nashville, playing music there. A lot of people outside of Nashville, they get the perception of it's all country, but most people in Nashville, they kind of move from all over, and they get there and they're like, oh, there's a lot of other music, and they get kind of tired of country. It's everywhere. Yeah. There's a big music scene that's like in East Nashville and stuff that's growing, and it's just almost like non-country. It's like everything other than country, because I think it's kind of a reaction to that oversaturation.
Absolutely, we've been able to build a great fan base in Nashville. It's easy in Nashville to have that smaller community feeling. It's a big place, but it's really cool that way, in that everything is pretty close, tight knit.
When we were looking for a name, we wanted to have something that you couldn't hear and be like, oh, well, that's why they're named that. Like, that makes sense, or whatever. We thought we just want to have two words that don't mean anything when you put them together, so that way when people hear our music, they just associate it with that name and not anything else. They don't bring anything with it.
I mean, we just looked at a bunch of bands that we loved too growing up, and they just took two random words and smashed them together. I mean, Radiohead, Coldplay, other bands, all those, they just took two words from together, and then their music, like you said, their music becomes that name.
We were actually on tour. We were on the way to a show somewhere.
Yeah.
And Instagram video came out, and we were all playing with it on our phones, and Todd had the idea. It was like, what if we tried to make a music video using everyone's footage from Instagram video? The song's Faces from our Rebel Hill EP.
So, in the tight-knit community that we have there, we just got together a bunch of friends, and we had a great guy kind of direct it and work out all the details, Connor Carroll. It was interesting how we had to do it, because there was you can see in the video there's a timer back on the mantle, and everyone in the room was assigned certain seconds of the song.
A lot of spreadsheets.
It was a lot of spreadsheets. A lot of working out. It probably could have been simpler, but we made it difficult. Then everybody just sent them off to Connor, the director, and put them together. Didn't edit him at all, really, or anything. He just took the shots and lined them up, and we took the live audio from that day and put it there. And that was fun. That was fun. I mean, we got a lot of cool responses to that.
Faces in the wall.
And the Rebel Hill EP was when it started to first started feeling serious. We felt like we had three good songs that we could share with everyone, and we've done things before that. We were proud of them, but those were more about. I mean, like we said, since we grew up playing together, those were more about learning how to record an EP together and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And the Rebel Hill EP felt more like, all right, we've got something to share, you know, to show people. And then after that, I mean, we did those 3 songs, and then we kind of just kept writing still.
Yeah, it was
that.
all kind of like continuous. Like we knew like a few years ago we wanted to do an album, but we wanted to have a lot of songs to choose from.
We always just kind of have the philosophy of like, we still haven't written our best song yet, so
Yeah.
we just keep writing, you know, because maybe one day we'll get that, but we haven't yet. We don't want to be seen as like taking ourselves too seriously, because our tone of the music sometimes could maybe be perceived that way, and that's not who we are. So we've been trying to think of some things to do to kind of show that off. And
Well, you know, artwork's really hard, and sometimes you throw a lot of ideas out there. Smooth was a song when it was first done. We were like, I think this is going to be a great song to release, to have kind of a preview of the album and show where it's going to go. It was kind of, in a way, too, like, kind of bands have to make this great artwork to represent their music, but it was kind of making fun of it in a way of, like, you know, sometimes, you know, the other
sometimes
stuff.
we're not good at it.
Yeah.
Those were more of like, here's what would have happened if we would have done the artwork.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
There was one of like,
Ryan Gosling.
the song called Smooth, so kind of playing off the pun, you know, Ryan Gosling.
Smooth guy.
There was a baby's butt, I'm pretty sure. Just, you know,
yeah, that was-
smooth fails.
That was from like a home video we had, actually.
Yeah, that was something.